Hi Aquarius, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Aquarius sun, moon, and rising signs. I am Michelle, an astrologer and tarot card reader using astrology and tarot to gain insights to deliver to you every single week. So please remember to hit that subscribe button and also ring that bell so you get notified. I upload Aquarius content every single Wednesday, but all 12 videos, all 12 zodiac signs get a reading every single week. So subscribe and enjoy. Aquarius, I'm going to start out with the astrology and then we're going to continue on with the cards, okay? The astrology is really interesting this week because there is definitely a shift in character, a shift in maybe even what you want out of friendships. But there is this sense of righteousness and, but I need to make the right decisions for everyone. And yet it's really, with Saturn being there in Aquarius, right? This sense of righteousness and steadfastness and doing the moral thing by everyone. And yet Mercury is really being worked on by Uranus, right? Because it's making you really extra curious and it's really making you extra, it's making you extra bold when it comes to how you talk or what you want to talk about or testing people's boundaries with ideas. Just it's really expansive energy, but people may not like the way you're expanding. At the same time, it may cause conflicts with you not liking the way that you're expanding or the fallout that's going to be coming socially when it's almost like you're conflicted. There's just, imagine that there's going to be a lot of conflicts right now in you, and maybe for an extended period of time, may not be delivered openly, but it's like what's going on around you with Jupiter and Neptune and their interactions with Uranus as well, and Jupiter's interactions with Uranus and Lilith. It's like there's this expansion and broadening. It's like you want to take risks. You want to take risks, but you've got Saturn sitting right there in that Aquarian energy in your first house. And it's almost like you want to take risks and you want to change and you're so curious, but your own ideals are stopping you. Your own ideals and your own like draconian adherence to what you've said in the past. It's like what you said in the past or what you said your ideals were, you're going to start to see how they could really block you in and how, maybe your fervor in one area has basically restricted you now. And this is an internal tension because it's all happening in your first house, conflict inside your soul of, well, what's most important to me? And how do I rectify this? So if you felt an internal tumultuousness, it's because you want to join in. You want to join in with everybody with getting up and doing new things, trying new things, and being new things. But ultimately, you're where Saturn is sitting, and it's almost like now you're obligated to do exactly what you're not inclined to do, which is now you're obligated to hold up the old things, and you're obligated to be the one and the reason, the humanitarian reason why we have to do things in a specific way and not differ from that. And it's almost like you're finding yourself in a position that isn't naturally you, and it could cause a great deal of conflict, especially with those around you, but ultimately, more importantly, with inside yourself. This sense of I'm going to say this. It's a really great example because actually she's Aquarius too. It's how Ellen DeGeneres had said, I would never recommend that anybody use as their motto, be nice, because you're expected then to be nice all the time and you're going to get it thrown back in your face in a horrible way when you're human enough to dare or to need to not be nice sometimes. And now it's not about if you like her or you don't like her or what side you take with her. It's just the example of you're going to see how your social ideals have backed you into fucking corners. And that's going to cause a lot of external strife, which is going to cause internal strife inside of you. And if you haven't started seeing it already, you will definitely start seeing it this week because the energy surrounding you, the crowd, wants to change. They want the difference. They're starting to shift modalities, and ultimately there's just this sense of but wait, I thought we agreed on this. That kind of energy could be really complicated for you to rectify, or for you to resolve, you know, and find resolution to. And that will be happening basically all year, for all the time that you have to deal with Saturn. This sense of Saturn slows you down, right? It doesn't let you move. It makes things really difficult for you to change. And it's like you have to prove yourself over and over and over again to yourself. And it's going to really, I would not be surprised if you are extremely exhausted by the end of this year. But definitely in this energy, when you kind of are really curious about new things, but ultimately you can't rectify being curious with those new things while you're still trying to maintain your integrity about these old things, or these things that you said that you believed in. And this is really going to cause a great deal of conflict in you. So expect that challenge, and expect that to really start feeling like making you tired, and maybe even being the inspiration for why you're escaping into dreams more and more now, because in your dream world, in your internal world, you can do or say anything that you want. And it could be this is a very creative time for you if you use it this way, because if you start writing from the perspective of what you desire to be, or what you dream to be, or those places that you don't feel like you can make public yet, you can make one hell of a story. So let's get into the reading. Aquarius. Remember, Aquarius, there's always an extended reading, and I hope to see you there. I also offer the memberships to the channel, so please check those out. One that includes unlimited access to the extended readings, and to me, if you want to ask me a live question, I'll go live with just members twice a week, so you can ask me any tarot card question you want. Yeah, lots of other perks too, so I hope you join me and check out those channel memberships. We have Spirit, Swan Spirit, and Vulture Spirit. Time for a deep dive, and nothing is wasted. Starting to see the beauty in something that was really ugly to you. Starting to see the beauty. It's like, when you look at things deeper, and you look at things from another perspective, you're starting to see beauty where once you didn't, or something that is completely contrasting, right? A sense of Beauty and the Beast kind of energy between Swan and Vulture. This sense of seeing the beauty in the Beast, and maybe the Beast, the beauty, showing a little bit of the Beast themselves. But it's like almost like opposites attract, definitely. And finding the value in what had been devalued. Now, this could also be people that you're dealing with, but it could also be concepts. This is Aquarius and Libra energy. So this is a sense of conceptually, like I talked about in the astrology, which is why it pisses me off to no end that people are shouting at me for not starting with the cards first. I'm an astrologer too. That's what I do. And if astrology isn't important to you, then why the hell are you into tarot? I know they can be separate, but very rarely are they. So anyway, I'm just saying it's all the reading. It's all the reading. It's not just when I start flipping cards, right? Time for a deep dive is look deeper, and you'll find the diamond in that rough. You'll find the diamond in the coal mine. You're starting to, it's almost like starting to see, wow, I only scratched the surface when it comes to somebody. Or when it came to me, somebody is starting to see a deeper aspect of you. I've only scratched the surface, and maybe I should have looked a little bit deeper, dug a little bit deeper before I put so much energy into believing something had value, or believing something didn't have value, because now I'm starting to see value where I didn't see it before. And so we begin, Aquarius. Okay, let's see what else has popped out. Trust in the magic. So yes, very much, Aquarius, there's this sense of trust where the magic is leading you. Trust in the magic inside of your heart. Trust this new beginning. Trust this new start. Trust this new perspective. It's really, the universe is really asking you to trust. You've gotten stuck in some pattern, because I see a lot of sixes here, and six is Venetian energy. And when there's a lot of sixes on the table, 3 sixes or more, there. It's an angel number that indicates you've been too focused on the luxury, too focused on the material, too focused on the material world, and not focused deep enough on those things that maybe don't look pretty or don't answer our questions as quickly. And there's just this sense of trusting the magic, because it's almost like the magic is trying to lead you to that deeper place. Yeah, it may look really crazy to you. Let's put it that way. This new opportunity, this new person, this new whatever, it may look really crazy to you. Like why am I even giving this a chance? When you're most of what you are, your ego is going to say, don't give it a chance. It's beneath you. But your heart and your dreams, your psyche is going to say, oh no, there's something more here. There's something to be looked at here. Ooh, something in the past. We got the past. Use your mind wisely. This is coming out in reverse. So in the past, it's basically saying, underlining energy for this reading is somehow in the past you missed this. Somehow in the past, it was overlooked. Somebody else, whoever it is, this is the energy of somebody who rushed to a conclusion and decided that something wasn't possible or wasn't right or wasn't good without giving it enough time to really find out what it was, what the whole thing was. So this is, I'm guessing this is you, but it could be somebody toward you as well. You can always flip that energy. Aquarius, what else you got to tell me, boo? What else you got to tell me, boo? Maybe a little bit about who this is about. If this is a who this is about. Because you could definitely apply this to opportunities in life, right? As well as career. What are we doing? Oh, like from heaven above. This is a sense of somebody recognizing or realizing your value. Like it finally coming in. Rose petals is about abundance raining down on you. But it's from what you've worked for. It's like you've made this beautiful life, right? This sense of just blessings coming down, or affection coming down. And then nature is here. And then we have spontaneous and intuitive creation. Give me a second with these and how these all pertain to each other. Nature is about your inner nature, your truth, who you naturally are, not what you put on. And then spontaneous and intuitive creation, it's also about like legitimate nature. It's also asking you to kind of smell the roses. If you see these cards sitting next to each other, there's a sense of smell the roses, check out the abundance around you. Starting to realize something that is the beauty in something simple. And then spontaneous and intuitive. This could inspire you to start creating something, or in a work that you're creating, just seeing this beauty or maybe a light through the trees in a certain way. It suddenly cascades light into your heart and you're inspired by this whole understanding and realization. And it's like you just see things from a different perspective, and it's a great perspective that's going to inspire a great deal of creativity, and act upon it. Like, I don't know, however you want to be creative, but act upon it. Like put ink to paper, or put your hands in the clay, or get into that science lab. However you create, it's do it tangibly. Recognize it in reality. That's what nature is too. It's the first touch point of God in the 3D world. So nature really stays so connected to God, which is why if you ever need to get back to God or feel closer to God, nature's the first place you go, because it's untouched by the ego, and it's the clearest representation of God in the 3D world. That's nature, because it's not interfered with by ego. It doesn't get something super imposed on it, and so nature remains closest to what God intended, which is why it's so disgusting when we destroy nature. When we destroy nature, we actually destroy our nature. But anyway, get off on a tangent. Let yourself go off on a tangent. I think that's the point. You're gonna find a lot of benefits by allowing yourself to go off on tangents that ultimately maybe you would not have allowed yourself to go off on before, but it's really important for your creative spirit to just let it happen. It's just going to be a little bit more challenging for you to let it happen with these expectations on you because of that Saturnian energy. I know Saturn is at home in Aquarius. It doesn't mean it's easy energy. Understand that wherever Saturn is, even if it's at home, even when Saturn was in Capricorn, like 2020 happened. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Is like 2020, 2021, this is when the pandemic struck. Like, believe me when I'm saying this to you, is that wherever Saturn is, even if it's at home, it's extremely exacting and extremely challenging energy. It's made that way to make sure we learn. It's the hard-ass drill sergeant teacher. That's what it is. It's tough love. And so ultimately, you may feel almost like you're betraying yourself somehow. You're not. This kind of energy has to come out of you. Yeah. This is supposed to come out. It's, Aquarius. Okay. We'll figure it out. I want to do this. No, I want to do this deck. I gotta figure out what deck wants to talk to me, because there's so much more to say. Spiritual union. What is this about, guys? Okay. I think this is a deeper and enriching period for you. And because all of this Venus-Mars energy is happening in the 12th house, your 12th house, it really feeds into who you fall in love with at this time. Could be very, very surprising for you. And it could also fall out of the blue. Yeah, like things are gonna take you by surprise. So ultimately that might throw you off a little bit depending on how well you do with surprises. That could have a lot of different, happy birthday Michelle Sandygate. That could have that could be impacted by for a lot of different reasons. But ultimately there's just this sense of feeling connected, feeling a connection, and connection being very important, not necessarily with everybody, but a certain someone. And I think that's the point, is that making you off keel and making you off balance a little bit. It's almost like the universe knows it's got to catch you by surprise to get you to notice these aspects, or these really good aspects of somebody, and that's kind of what it's going to do. It's going to catch you by surprise. So let's get a little deeper into how and when that's going to happen. Flexible. Okay. Be flexible. It's definitely how it's going to happen. It's already telling us it's going to happen, because by making you more malleable, right? By making your brain flexible. But higher power here is almost kind of in reverse, which means it's not necessarily. Why is this in reverse? Is it supposed to be? Just let me know. Yes or no? Yeah, it's supposed to be in reverse. What does that mean? Oh, I understand. It's almost like maybe it feels like you're being undermined, right? But you're not. You're being undermined in order to make you more flexible. That's kind of what it feels like. That's kind of what it is. It's like you're trying to, it's in a weird way, but it's almost like by being really strict with you, you're being helped to see how necessary it is to not be that rigid. It's like through the pain of rigidity, you're learning flexibility. Yeah, I know. What I tell you, Saturn doesn't teach the lessons easy. What I tell you. The hell was that? We got more over here. We got more. There's something here that is, it's not coming together. There's definitely a conflict. What is the conflict, though? Could be a conflict between friends. Could be a conflict. Okay. I feel like this has just led me off track. So we have underlying energy mending, but it's not like something isn't coming together, or you're not seeing eye to eye on how you have to come together. And then we have exchanging gifts and observer. I gotta say, it's almost like you keep trying with the wrong people. It's not that people haven't observed your gifts. It's that the right people haven't observed your gifts. It's that you're looking in the wrong directions for this validation or for these opportunities. And that's why it's not coming together, because there are people who have definitely acknowledged and who have maybe even offered up this exchange. Once again, though, it's sent, this is like not from the higher power. This is a sense of your own ego, like I had just described before, the suppression of the higher power because of egotism. So I don't know what that is, but it's a sense of it's being undone, not done. Like the actions that are being taken are unstitching something outside and unwinding instead of bringing things closer together. But the external intent is, oh, I'm fixing things. You're really not fixing things, or they're really not fixing things. They're like, somebody needs to learn how to be more malleable and more flexible by basically, here we go, before we go to tarot, by basically acknowledging the gifts, acknowledging the acknowledgements that you have instead of the ones that you want. Let's go to tarot. I'll see you guys over there.